Did you know, guys, that words where and when can be used in relative clauses in English language? You probably learned that you can use where to ask a question. So if you ask a question like this one, where did you go? You're trying to find out a place, right? Similarly, if you're using word when to ask a question, like in this example, when are you planning to graduate? You're trying to find out the time. Well, guys, welcome back to our Explicit English channel. If you would like to find out how to make relative clauses with adverbs where and when, and not just ask questions, then this is a video for you. This is very useful in writing. So let's get started. Let's look at the relative clauses with where first. The adverb where modifies noun of place. Okay? Don't get confused that we said we can use where to ask a question. Where did you go? I went to the store. Although I ask question by using where as a question word, I'm still trying to find out the place. Well, similar rule applies. When we use where as an adverb in our relative clause, we are trying to modify, describe our noun of place. What do I mean by noun of place? Well, most common nouns of place are as follows: room, house, city, area, country, coffee shop, store. It can be any kind of place in which you find yourself. Any kind of setting you try to describe, you're gonna have to use this adverb where. So let's give an example. Coffee shop is a place where many people enjoy meeting and socializing. So coffee shop is a place is one clause. Where many people enjoy meeting and socializing is our relative clause, where we used this relative adverb where. This sentence would be grammatically incorrect if you just didn't use where. And this where will refer back to the place. Coffee shop is a place where. When you say where, now your reader or your listener assumes you're trying to give him more information. Where what? Where many people are new subject in a new clause, our relative clause. Enjoy, verb, meeting and socializing. You can see that where, just like any other relative pronoun, will follow the noun it modifies, in this case, a place, and after that we get our clause. Again, subject has to come first and verb follows. Typical subject-verb order in English. This is very useful for any kind of descriptive paragraph or essay. You have to include this relative adverb where that will modify the noun of place. Now let's move on to the relative clause with when. The adverb when modifies noun of time, such as a moment, day, week, month, etc. Any kind of noun that is related to time, you want to use when. So we have an example here. The day when I got my first car was one of the best days in my life. So here we're trying to use when, relative adverb, to describe the day. Okay, what kind of a day was this? Well, this was the day when I is my subject, got is my verb. We still follow the same principle, you guys. We describe our noun of time, the day, we use the relative adverb when, and right after that comes our subject and verb. Typical order, it's the same thing we've been saying all along. The day when I got my first car was one of the best days in my life. That's it. Now there is one exception to this rule. You can omit the relative adverb when in restrictive relative clauses. For example, I remember the moment I met my husband. Okay? Or you can say, I remember the moment when I met my husband. These two sentences mean the same thing. Okay? So let's just move to the next slide to summarize everything we've been saying so far. So let's just summarize when it comes to the adverb where in regards to relative clauses. We can modify place, such as area, house, city. And we can say my school is a place where you can have free Wi-Fi. So place is our noun of place. We're using the adverb where to modify that noun. And then we have you can have, typical subject verb order in English language. Regarding when, we can modify time, such as day, week, any kind of time period. And we can say summer is the time when many internships become available to students. So time is our noun of time. We use when to modify. Many internships become available. Again, subject verb order. There is exception when it comes to when. You can omit adverb when in restrictive relative clause. If you need to refresh your memory as to what restrictive relative clause is, you can check out one of our previous videos in the series. There is a video where we explain the difference between restrictive and non-restrictive relative clause. If you guys benefited from this video, please don't forget to share. Thanks for watching.